Ah, it's so nice to be in a vacation spot. Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy VII, and we begin by entering Costa Del Sol. So this is supposed to be like a resort town, roughly, on the other continent. But we have other things to do, so we can't be vacationing. Oh, Cloud! Look at that. Okay. Oh. Ooh, Hojo? That girl in the bikini? Is that man over there Hojo? Go over there and talk to him. Okay, so I guess we're talking to the guy on the beach. What do you want? What do you want? Is that Hojo? What's his problem? Yes, that's right. It's the professor. Professor, someone's here to see you, sir. Yeah. I don't see these guys being his receptionists. I'm busy right now. But too bad. No. I remember you all now. Yes, I remember now. It's been a long time, Cloud. Hojo. Sometimes you just gotta do something like this. What are you doing? It should be obvious. I'm getting a tan. Answer me. I believe we're both after the same goal. You mean Sephiroth? Did you see him? I see. I'm a smug bastard. Pardon my French. What is it? Nothing. I just remembered a certain hypothesis. Haven't you ever had the feeling something is calling you? Or that you had to visit some place? I'll go anywhere Sephiroth is at. To beat him and to put an end to this, and put an end to all of this, once and for all. Whatever. See, this could be interesting. Were you in Soldier? Would you like to be my guinea pig? Oh, now what? Are you going to draw your sword? Stop, Cloud. Say, aren't you the Ancient? I'm Eris. The least you can do is remember my name. I want you to tell me something, Professor Hojo. I know I'm an Ancient. My mother told me. Your mother? Oh, you mean Ifalda. Yes, I know her. How is she? You didn't know? She died. I see. Professor Hojo, is Jenova an Ancient? Is Sephiroth an Ancient? Do we all have the same blood? It's a very good question, actually. Head west. He's mumbling slowly. That must mean he's hiding something. All right, so from here on in, unfortunately, hey, answer us. It's no use. It's no go. So unfortunately, from here on in, you won't get any more information out of Hojo, but he has given us at least something. We have to head west. And at that point, we don't know if he's necessarily seen Sephiroth, but maybe he's seen something else that may lead us to Sephiroth. Now, I did want to show this off, so as soon as we made all the jokes about Barrett being cute in the sailor suit, now he's actually trying it on in the bathroom. Someone's in here, all right? Now, you can actually use the inn, so let's just go ahead and do it. 200 gil a night, that's not horrible. Oh yeah, that's right, I actually don't do it. Mainly because this was actually around the time when I actually did do another grinding break to get ready for heading west. But before that, as you can see, a lot of our party members are getting jobs or whatever here. But first, we're going to hit the shops and see if maybe we can get any more new items, materia, things like that. Now, people might notice I'm buying soft right now. Yeah, you want to buy that because Petrify on this continent is going to be a big thing. Thankfully, though, it has a countdown. Yes, I know, you're selling materia, Yuffie. I'm so happy about that. So, unfortunately, I think aside from Seal, Revive, I don't think there are any new materia for it. Oh, actually, no, never mind. Maybe we do have Revive. It doesn't matter. I get all the necessary materia, so don't worry too much about that. So once again, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. Fortunately for me, the work week is almost over, but, well, things will change. Obviously, there was the grinding break. Things will change because I will need to edit, and I will also need to... next week is also going to be busy for me. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and remind you guys that... so next week is actually the last week of the month of September. So that's going to be what I have dubbed on the last update that I did a podcast break, or a podcast week. So you guys will get one video. Well, you guys will get Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, and if I can make a vlog work or anything like that, that'll happen. But as for things like Tale of Drakfu, Dungeons and Dragons, Diablo, things like that, they are being put on hold that week, and then we'll be back next week with more of the regular schedule. It's just this last week I need to be able to go work on podcasts, work on sponsorships, things like that, and I need that extra time. So I know some people are still kind of not on board with that schedule. Thank you for those who are supporting it, but it's just one of those things that we've got to do at this given moment to be able to make this all work. Because here's the thing, guys, I love doing YouTube for you guys, but it doesn't pay the bills, and frankly, it's more of a resume thing than anything else. It's something I want to enjoy doing with you guys. But you need to put food on the table, and that's always been an issue. Especially, like, Adpocalypse aside, because here's the thing, guys, the videos do well, at least as far as I'm concerned. They don't get very many criticisms or anything like that. It's mostly, if people have criticisms, it's towards my opinions on something. So that's great. That's exactly what I want to hear, but we just need to get the viewership up. That's the thing. And this last week of the month actually allows for me to work on tactics to do that. So that, yeah, there you go. That's just a quick reminder. Next week, you'll get Kingdom Hearts, you'll get Final Fantasy VII, but Tale of Drakfu fans, Diablo fans, you're gonna have to wait an extra week. I'm sorry about that, but there's still plenty of parts you can go rewatch. All, I think it's, well, as of today, it will be 17 parts of Diablo. So you're gonna get a double dose of Diablo this week, kind of help out with that, as well as make up for the last week where my motherboard died and I couldn't really record a Diablo part. I blame Diablo. No, I really don't. People actually were asking what did happen. I've had this motherboard for the old motherboard for a while, and it was gonna die at some point. But Drak, you had that vacation where you took care of stuff. Yeah, I did, and I actually did do some upgrades to the PC, but the motherboard was not one of the worries that I had. I actually thought that my motherboard was gonna last probably another 6 months to a year, and then I'd have to upgrade. And man, did I call that wrong. So with the motherboard, I actually had to get a new CPU and some RAM to be able to help out with that. You're actually talking to me. What is it? I just passed a guy in a black cloak back there. I tried to tell him that it's dangerous up ahead and he ignored me. Sephiroth. There was a black cloaked guy here too? I'm moving on ahead. Okay, so right now we're actually going to be going through kind of like a little mini dungeon area, and I do enjoy these parts of Final Fantasy VII because it allows for, even though it is a fixed camera angle and it's a very flat designed area, I still do like what they've done with it. And here is actually the Corel Mako reactor. So this is actually one of the other major reactors in the world of Final Fantasy VII. We'll learn more about it as we go along, because we're actually going to be dealing with the people of Corel in the next little bit. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I had to replace my motherboard, I had to replace my CPU, and some RAM, because obviously the older stuff wouldn't fit this new motherboard. But aside from that, the PC is roughly the same. Same hard drive, same graphics card, everything like that. So I guess you could essentially say I did buy a brand new PC, but I don't see it that way because I didn't buy like from scratch. And yes, I do upgrade my PC, so that's one of those things that I'm very happy, being a geek and living in a geeky family, that's been able to work out. But hopefully you guys have also enjoyed the content that came out this week. In particular, I did get my vlog out for Metroid Samus Returns, which I know some people are mad I wasn't able to do footage or tries of it, but I can't record the 3DS, so that's the thing. Well, then just mod or hack your 3DS. I don't want to. I literally don't like the idea of modding and hacking. I know that a lot of people have dissuaded me in the past of like, oh no, it doesn't wreck your PS or your 3DS or anything like that. But given my luck, that may not necessarily be the case. And the second that I do it, I'm pretty sure, convinced that it'll break down. There's gonna be nothing I can do about it. Even if I just got a 3DS out of nowhere and said, mod this one. First of all, I don't have the money to do that. And second of all, I just don't like modding or hacking consoles or... I mean, I've done games, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that, although we now live in a cheat-free zone. But yeah, I can't record 3DS games. It's just something that I've had to live with, unfortunately. Maybe if I get enough money, I'll consider modding or hacking a 3DS. Or here's a better idea. How about Nintendo finally give us a way to be able to play a 3DS on our damn TV? Because it's one of those things that actually irritates me that Sony didn't keep with this. I actually like the fact that the PC or the PSP had cables that you could get that could connect it to the TV. Why don't we continue to have that? That is an amazing prospect. That's awesome. For those who are diehard handheld gamers and they just want to see what it looks like on their screen, they can have that. And I love 80% of the arguments online is like, it's gonna look horrible, it's gonna be 240p. I don't care. I don't care. I play games for the story. I don't necessarily need them to have great and glorious pixels. I'm playing a game where literally hands were squares right now. And no, I'm not playing the PC modded version. I'm playing the original PlayStation version, which, yes, had squares for hands. I don't care. I'm very heated about this because I have been playing Samus Returns quite a bit. I was like, this is a really great game. I really wish it came out for Switch. Because then I could put it up on my TV. That's like my only complaint with the whole thing. Is this is an amazing game. It's really fun to play. It's satisfying. It's addictive. Why is it not on the Switch? Why is it on the 3DS? That's my only complaint with it. Why is it not on the Switch? Because I want to be able to play it on a TV. But yeah, I've been able to put my... I'm not going to complain anymore, I promise. I've been able to put up my video of Samus Returns so far. I've gotten probably a few more hours since I recorded that vlog. I love it. I love the game. And also, you guys can look forward to tomorrow when I'm going to be doing my Drak tries of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I know that's a little late, but given the way the schedule worked this week, it's the only day I can make work. So you guys are going to get it then. And hopefully it fares better than Street Fighter V, although a lot of you guys have urged me to go back to Street Fighter V and see if the story mode has been worth it. And I try to pick it up every now and again, but I think even somebody pointed out that I had picked it up, and if I said that, I'm sorry. I got busy. I did actually plan on doing it for June, and then things got horribly busy, and I couldn't make it work, but... I actually even also thought about, like, doing a Drak Tries again for Street Fighter V, and I still may do that. Just because I would like to see if they finally improved on Street Fighter V. But can't really say anything about it right off the bat. The other problem, too, is that Street Fighter V compared to Street Fighter 4, I just don't... I didn't really get into the control scheme. I get that fighters are now trying to simplify themselves to make it easier for newcomers to come into the games. But, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's the best way I know how to describe it. But yeah, you guys can look forward to on Friday my Drak Tries of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and I know a few people have recommended a few other games for the rest of this year, and don't worry, some of those are actually on my list. The few that aren't, very few that aren't, if I can fit them in my schedule, I will, but I'm not making promises. My schedule's already pretty full, and I also need to accommodate for other things that I'm doing. So it's one of those things that I don't want to disappoint you guys, but I also have to say no somewhere. And so yeah, you guys are going to look forward to that, and you did get your double dose of Diablo, but unfortunately this week I wasn't able to do a double dose of Final Fantasy VII. I hope that some week down the line I can actually do a second part just to bring things up to speed, but right now I'm just planning on the one video a week kind of thing. If I do one other, then I'll let you guys know. And this is also usually the point when I start talking about games that I have been playing recently. Unfortunately, like, there hasn't been any old games that I've gotten back to, because people might remember I'm still working on, what was it? It was like Assassin's Creed 4, and, let's see, Assassin's Creed 4, Mass Effect 3, and Sly Cooper. I have not been able to get back to any of these. I still want to. I want to be able to give you guys my wrap-up as well as my review of Mass Effect Andromeda and amongst others, while I'm still trying to gather footage and collect my own opinions on the matter. This is how backed up I am, guys. Crap, I lost my train of thought. I can't even remember what... Yeah, so there you go. You guys will be getting that stuff very soon, but there were a few... There were a few names in that list that I couldn't see myself picking up. And if I can, I will. If not, then forgive me. I'll make it work as best as I can. Because that's really all I can promise you guys. Things are just way too complicated right now, and unfortunately, the way the situation goes on YouTube right now is you have to look at what's most lucrative for your channel and for your audience. And even though the adpocalypse doesn't affect me, if I got up to that point, it would. So I need to be able to have the sponsorships and whatnot available. And actually, side tangent, because I completely forgot to mention this last time, and I almost forgot it again this time. A few of you guys have actually reached out to me and asked for voiceover information. First of all, thank you for considering me. I hadn't actually considered putting my voiceovers page up on YouTube, but that was not because I was trying to hide it or anything like that. It was just kind of slipped my mind. So if you guys want it, then I can put it also in my About section for YouTube. And if you guys want to reach out to me for voiceover opportunities, you're more than welcome to. I will get back to you as quickly as I am able. Which means you'll probably get higher priority than all the other stuff that I gotta do. Because I love you. I love my community. They are awesome. They do art for me. They cheer me up when things go badly wrong and all that fun stuff. And I know I've been side tangenting for a while now. There really isn't a whole lot to talk about Final Fantasy in this part in particular, because right now we're just chugging along in a dungeon area, specifically the Corel area. And you've already seen kind of the tricks of this area is that you can eventually get items if you fall down those pits. But yeah, it's just chugging along, and obviously the design is still brilliant. I still love a lot of the design to 7 to this day. And for all the people who have sat there and said that my issues with 7 are strictly towards gameplay or graphics, it's not. I just don't think the story is as great as people have made it out to be over the years. I think it has flaws, and flaws are good. Flaws actually help us to improve. Especially considering that, yes, while Hironobu Sakaguchi did work on this, this was also a time when they were bringing in a couple of other developers because of the transition to 3D. Oh yeah, so, speaking of 3D Final Fantasies, a lot of people have mentioned, like, my favorite ones are 2Ds. So what would I actually consider my favorite 3D Final Fantasies? The answers that you're not gonna like, but I mean, I do like 7, but I would probably hold 9 in higher esteem than 7, and you guys will see why then. 9 is a huge nostalgia trip for Final Fantasy fans, and that's why it's so beloved, especially to me. But then I would put 7 up there. I would also put up 10. I really do like 10. And I would also put up 13. I don't hate 13 as much as everybody else does. Can't really speak for 15 yet. Or 14. I haven't really played 14. I've seen screenshots, I've seen some gameplay of it, but I haven't done much else than that. But yeah, I would hold all of them in high esteem. In fact, speaking of 9, I hope you guys saw that at TGS, they actually just barely re-released Final Fantasy IX for PS4. That's amazing. I actually did consider playing it on PS4 for the Let's Play that I will be doing of it eventually, but I think I'm going to stick to the original PlayStation version because the boosts simplify the gameplay, and I want you guys to get an original feel for how the game used to play. That's why I picked the PlayStation version over the PC version of Final Fantasy VII. I wanted you to get the feel for how the game looked when it came out on PlayStation. And PC, you know, I know people love the PC version, but that came later. It did not release at the same time. And guess what, boys and girls? That's not a bad thing. I don't know. You guys can let me know your opinions on the matter, but I kind of want to give you guys an original experience in that regard. I want to make sure that you guys see 9 as everybody did when it came out. As we will eventually get there. The only thing that might not be done in line with the Thursday videos is that 11's not going to make it, and neither is 14, because they're MMOs. They probably need more time devoted to them. And the sequel games will eventually happen. And somebody did actually ask if I was going to consider doing Dissidia. I hadn't actually considered doing Dissidia. And I'm not against the idea. Because I do like the Dissidia games. Basically, for those who don't know what they are, Dissidia is like a Final Fantasy fighting game, but it actually does have a story to it. I know, a fighting game with a story? That never happens anymore these days. And in particular, they're not talking about the PSP version that came out a while ago. They were talking about the most recent one that I guess is coming out next year. I don't know, I heard 2019. And I'm not against it. And actually, the other thing too is I heard it was Japan only, and it pissed me off. But thankfully, it's coming here, and I guess it's coming out next year. No, I'm not against it. I actually wouldn't mind doing the original PSP version. I thought that was a fun game too. I was thoroughly addicted to it for a while there. And I believe I finished it. I just never got around to do a DASIM, which is the sequel that adds even more characters, and I think adds even more story to Dissidia. I'll get around to that one. I really do want to play that again. And then also the sequels to the games, they are being considered, guys, so don't worry too much about that. I'm just trying to get through the Roman numeral 9 first before I take it on. And I think the first PS4 game that you're going to get is probably 12. 12 will play that way, and then we'll go back to 13 on PS3. Because yes, 13's getting a playthrough. It's happening. I know you guys hate it so much, but I think it's worthwhile to at least play the game and show it for what it is. And wow, I have talked you guys' ears off for a majority of the part and just kind of rambled, so hey, some of you guys like it when I ramble, so I don't know necessarily if that's a bad thing. I always try to keep these things on par and on topic with either business of the channel or Final Fantasy as a whole. And for the most part, I succeed, but this is one of those parts where I kind of question that. Anyway, though, I think I've talked your ear off enough, so that's actually going to do it for this week. When we get back, we will continue on in Final Fantasy VII and move on to the town of Corel. We'll see you guys then.